Welcome to the Get Real Podcast, your high-octane boost of full-on reality therapy for personal, business, and investing success with your host, Ron Phillips, because somebody's got to tell it like it is.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Get Real Podcast. Ron Phillips here. It is that time of year, people. Well, actually, it's not quite that time of year yet. In 30 days, it'll be that time of year. I am here today to remind you that in 30 days, that time of year is going to be almost too late. Ron, what are you talking about? What could possibly be that time of year right now? As I'm recording this, it is Halloween. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm also not talking about Thanksgiving, and I'm not talking about Christmas. Although that season, the whole season, is fun and amazing, and it's magical and special and all of that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the mad dash that happens every year in December to try to go out and get items, investments, other things to reduce one's tax burden. It's why people are shopping for Range Rovers in December, large vehicles that they can write off. And if you don't know, you can absolutely do that. And especially with bonus depreciation right now, you can write off the whole thing year one. It's pretty cool. But there's nothing cooler than buying an investment property that not only gives you those tax benefits, but also pays you while you get the tax benefits, increases in value while you get the tax benefits, and someone else pays down your mortgage while you're getting the tax benefits. So why am I saying that time of year in 30 days? And if you're smart, it's that time of year right now. Well, because it takes several weeks to close a property. And I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but banking holidays, banks, title companies, just people in general, during the holidays have extended periods of time where they do not work. And that makes it increasingly difficult to just get all the logistics together to be able to actually close a property. If you wait until December, it's going to be really, really difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. You don't want to miss it by like a day, or, you don't want to be closing on January the 2nd because you screwed up and waited too long. So there's that piece of news. Secondarily to that, the Fed just lowered the interest rate, the Fed funds rate again, and mortgage rates did nothing except for move higher a little bit again. I keep telling everybody keeps waiting on the Fed to lower their mortgage rate. That's not the way it works. That is not the way it works, people. I don't know that we're going to see ridiculously lower mortgage rates even into next year. We might see a little bit, but the rates are actually quite good. In the last show I did, they talked about interest rates where they were back pre-crash, post-crash, and then we all got spoiled for a long time with really, really low interest rates. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of you out there listening, and you know people as well who have bought properties, used local bank financing, 3 and 5 year terms on those notes. If you're waiting to refinance those, I don't know that that's a great call. Interest rates right now are in the low 6s for investment property, probably high 5s for mid to high 5s for retail. I don't really know that because I'm not shopping for retail, but low 6s for refinance right now. So if you wanted to pull some cash out or just rate and term refinance, also a great time to do it. Also, don't wait until the last minute, because there's a ton of people who are going to be rushing to buy properties. And I don't know if you knew this or not either, but we have fewer mortgage brokers right now than we used to have. I think I told you this, but we have our own brokerage and we're happy to help you guys with that as well. So if you want to refinance, let us know. If you need a property before the end of the year, man, you better get on it. In addition, one more thing. The builders also want to close things out before the end of the year. They're giving crazy discounts, incentives, and things like that we've been able to negotiate. So there's some really good stuff to look at. We had a huge month in October. November and December are usually even bigger, which means we will also be busy. So early bird, be the early bird. I just got a white paper on the property management industry. I'm going to dig through that over the weekend. I'm going to come back and do a show on that property management industry and what's going on with you guys, with the small investors, small, medium-sized investors. So anybody who's not a hedge fund, like what's going on with that segment of the investment market? Shocker. I'll have some numbers for you and some things like that on the next show. But shocker, you're still dominating the market. There's all this press about the hedge funds and all these big boys that are getting in, and they finally figured out that real estate's a good thing. Feel like in 2012, I think it was 2012, when Warren Buffett said that he would buy, hundreds of them, thousands of them, if he could figure out the management. It was just after that, some of the hedge funds were like, that we could figure out the management if we really tried hard. And then the world changed. Those guys started buying a ton. But I want you to know, you guys still have the majority of the power when, the reason that what we do works so well is because we're able to pool the buying power of all of you to be able to negotiate. And that's still there, right? The majority owner, vast majority owner of 1 to 4 family units, so residential rental properties, are small and medium-sized investors just like you. And it's not even close. Not even close. Single digits is what the big boys own in a percentage rate. So let's keep breaking records. Let's keep breaking records, people, because I'm telling you, this is the greatest way to make generational financial change for you and your family that there is. And we're here to help you do it. So little longer show next week, kind of like the last one. I got some good feedback. Somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos. If you guys don't know, if you're listening to the podcast and you've not seen the podcast, these are all video as well. You can find me on YouTube. We'll put the link in the show notes. But one of the comments was, hey, if you're talking about a graph, show it. So I might do that. I don't know if I will or not, but I might do that on the next one, just see how it goes. I try to make it so that I describe what I'm looking at, so that you guys can imagine it in your head as I'm talking. I hope I do a decent enough job of that. If not, let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you guys. Also, if there's something that you'd like me to cover, happy to do that too. Shoot me an email at invest@rpcinvest.com, invest@rpcinvest.com. And I will use that on the show and probably give you a shout out as well. Look forward to next week's show. And until next time, get out there and make something happen.
This has been the Get Real Podcast. To subscribe and for more information, including a list of all episodes, go to getrealestatesuccess.com.